Good morning. I'm here to pitch to you the executives of Universal After Dark Water Parks, a company that can revolutionize the water park industry. So a problem is a shrinking key demographic of water park attendees. As you can see here, it is domestic visitors under the age of 18. And according to IBIS World, the number of adolescents between the age of 10 and 17 is expected to decline in 2015, causing internal industry problems like lower sales. So the solution that After Dark Water Parks provides is branching out to an entirely untouched new demographic of domestic visitors between the age of 18 and 44, which makes up 25.6%, the same as domestic visitors under the age of 18. So the intention of this proposal is for a mutually beneficial partnership between Universal Resorts and After Dark Water Parks. We chose to propose to Universal first because of their ownership of Wet n Wild, where we would be able to form Wet n Wild After Dark. Now, what Wet n Wild After Dark would be, Wet n Wild would operate as a standard water park, and then when it closes between the hours of 5 and 9 p.m., After Dark brings its team in, gives the entire park a whole new light, offering fun, adult-only entertainment within the park itself. So the business model will more wholly express what we are all about. We are a water park. We're lots of fun. We have an extended sale on alcoholic beverages. That'll be a big component of our revenue. Relatively cheap admission compared to other water parks. 18 and over for admission only. No one under the age of 18 is allowed to come in. And live music nightly. We operate Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings only from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. So the revenue stream. Here's the contrasting revenue streams between a standard water park and After Dark water parks. As you can see, for After Dark, admissions is lower, but food and drink is much higher. Being a water park slash bar that only operates on the weekends for adults only, alcoholic beverages will be high, and profit margins on alcoholic beverages are high in itself. Liability. There's alcohol, it's a water park. But rest assured that Universal and Wet n Wild will not be held responsible for any lawsuit resulting from injury or death at After Dark water parks. This is due to a $23,000 a month insurance policy and mandatory liability waivers signed at the gate upon admission. So the three major benefits of partnership to Universal Resorts slash Wet n Wild. What do you get out of it? That's a good question. Number one, percentage of revenue rent. We saw this before. This was our revenue, and the black here is the same revenue distribution pie chart, except the black shows where Universal slash Wet n Wild will be taking their cut. We don't pay rent on a fixed basis. You earn 20% of our gross revenue, unexpensed. Number two, the extension of the Universal brand. Wet n Wild is an extension of Universal, and After Dark will essentially be an extension of Wet n Wild. So it's an extension of an extension. Universal is growing as a brand, while After Dark is growing as a company. Number three, the lack of competition. No other company is on the cutting edge of water parks like we are. No one is offering water park services specifically catered to adults only, which means competition is non-existent. So our work plan, we plan to launch April 23rd, 2016 and discontinue our seasonal operations September 13th, 2006, assuming we reach an agreement sometime in the near future. So our work plan leading up to our launch, we will raise capital, advertise the launch, assemble a staff, secure an insurance policy, and plan and execute the launch. As you can see here, this is an example of us advertising our launch party. So following the launch, we need to aggressively advertise and promote our brand using coupons, in-store coupons, as you can see here. It's a mutually beneficial thing. We get into other people's stores, and in return, these stores get their logos onto our tickets. Number seven, we discontinue our operations September 13th, 2016, just for the season, and during this time, we will follow up with a market analytics team to determine where the business really excelled, and also where some of the fat can be trimmed so that we can be bigger and better the following April when we return. Cost. This is our monthly operating budget. We operate under $100,000 a month. As you can see here, it's broken down in this pie chart. We have $19,000 in wages, $17,000 in food and drink, $6,000 in live music, and so on. We pay 10% of the maintenance expenses incurred by Wet n Wild during the months that we operate. So 5 months out of 12, we pay 10% of the expenses incurred by Wet n Wild. So just to review some key points of this presentation, Wet n Wild earns 20% of After Dark's gross revenue. Universal Resorts experiences brand extension. Marketable demographic doubles in size. It's virtually a turnkey operation. You know, we would use Wet n Wild's parks, we wouldn't need to build anything. Non-existent competition, no one is doing what we are doing. And zero liability to Universal. So in conclusion, we would like to request for your partnership. We want your thoughtful consideration into a partnership that can truly benefit both parties here and grow your brand as we as a company grow our own. Thank you.